Hey, welcome back to Beer Geeks Beer Reviews. And as you can see, we have two glasses. Unfortunately, I don't have another one of these glasses here, but I have one of these. And tonight we're going to do a comparison review. And the only reason I say a comparison review is because of the fact of said beer. Boom. As you all know, I've already done a Hopslam review this year from this set. I know on the back of it, it just says 12/27/13. So I'm like, made in 2013, not released till 2014, but I wanted to compare it to another 2013 beer. And what other beer can we compare this to that is around the same range? I wanted to pit it up against, bam, look at it, Hoptium. Southern Tier's Hoptium. Now, both about the same range in alcohol. One's made with definitely whole cone. That might be a little bit of a difference here, but this one is also brewed with what they call a dollop of honey. Now, two are, some big, wonderful beers. Now, by what I say about big, wonderful beers is that they're both extremely, extremely hoppy. Which in their own rights, each beer, it is of itself a wonderful beer. But with that said, I'm going to go ahead and pour beer number one. Nice head on it. I can smell it from here. Got some nice carbonation going on in there. And let's go ahead and pop beer number two. Now, both seem to have had nice smokage. Both seem to pour very nicely. Nice head. Each glass is going to, do a little bit different within each beer. Now, but on the outside chance, let's take a look at the beers. Man, look at both these beers, man. They're almost the same color. They're almost identical. Now, if I sat there and gave this to people, they would notice one difference. Man, this is clean, this is crisp, this is unfiltered. Now with this, on the other hand, with the whole cone hops, you do have some floatage. And what I mean by floatage is that this is hot particles. Both have produced a decent, that finger worth. This is like 2 fingers worth of head, only because of the fact that they're in different glasses. I wish I could have done this and probably should have done it in another glass like this to compare evenly within the same glass. But I'm going off of what I got right now. As I can see, both are nice golden color. I actually have both pages from both companies open. See, the one thing that I do not like about Bell's company's website is that it just gives you pretty much a little nuance of what they say about it. It's like starting with 6 different hop varieties added to the brew kettle, blah, 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 blah. They give you just very little. Pacific Northwest varieties contribute pungent blends of grapefruit, stone fruit, and floral notes. So you should get a nice floral bouquet out of this one, as well as this one. I will get to this one in a second. It just says, a generous malt bill and a solid dollop of honey provide enough body to keep the balance in check. And it's a double India Pale Ale in style. Now going over to the Sierra Nevada company, it actually gives you a little bit more information. I do like theirs a lot more than I like this one, because if you go over there, it says an overview, alcohol content is 10.4%, where this one is a solid 10%. It also gives you the gravity, the ending gravity. The bitterness unit is 100 bitterness unit. I actually have heard this one goes a little bit higher, but at the same time, 100's good. It actually gives you the ale yeast used. It actually gives you the bittering hops, which is the German Magnum hops. Finishing hops is the Chinook, Simcoe, and an experimental variety. Malts is the 2-row pale malt, a golden promise Munich, and a wheat. So therefore, it's got a nice smoothness to it. It also gives you the food pairings. With this, it says a cream-based sauce, citra-based sauce, French vanilla ice cream, aged Monterey Jack cheese. I just like this website a lot better because it gives you the overview, the ingredients, and a food pairing. So with that, I will give that a point. But we're not sitting here rating the websites. We're sitting here rating the beer. So with that said, let's go ahead and get an aroma on both. It seems to be like the honey shows through a bit. The grapefruit, there's a nice subtle sweetness. It's very smooth smelling. It's very pleasant. Almost like a little bit of a candy sweetness there. Just very tropical fruit notes. Now, if I'm going to go over here, I like the hot particles in that. I do. Actually, this one's a lot more clean, more crisp. You can just actually get a hint of the alcohol on there if you get a good whiff. So far out of both beers, I think this one has the better aroma. Because everything smells smooth. It smells, it seems to blend very, very well. I do really like that aroma. This one seems to be more outdoorsy, more green, more floral, more, how do I want to say this? More woodsy. It just reminds me of being outdoors. It reminds me of the wild. This one here just seems to be more crisp, more, blended, more smooth, more, it's got a smooth bouquet to it, where this one's got more of an open, wild bouquet. Now, upon taste, I'll go with the Bell's first. Again, those tropical fruit notes do show through very well, but you can get a little bit of the honey. It all just seems to be just like that, very smooth, very subtle, very gliding. The flavors just seem to go over your palate just very well, very light, very easy. You do tend to get just a bit of breadiness with it as well, but with this one, I don't think it's going to be as smooth or as, how do I want to say this, as the waves flow. I mean, it's going to be, I imagine, more, crash up against the rocks. Here I am. That said, Rose. Right. Right off the bat, you're still getting that grapefruit. You're still getting that pininess. This has got more resinous taste to it than this does. And with the being unfiltered, you're definitely getting a little bit more of a hot punch. And I do want to throw it out there. Price point is always an option, especially for somebody you're out there looking for a good beer, but you don't want that beer to end up costing you an arm and a leg. This is going to cost you an arm and a leg. Now, being the fact that it's only released once a year, is it worth it? It does throw that with that hype. I'm going to say, because of the hype, no. But if you're a Truce Bell fan and you have had this many years, you're seeking after it, man, go for it. I've seen it out there, man. Some people pay as high as like $17.99 a 6-pack. I don't know what cases run because we were only limited to 2 cases per customer at the store that it was sold at, and I just went with 1. This, man, get out there, seek it out, find it. It's available more often than this will ever be. But with that said, I mean, they're each their own. Um, some people might say because of the fact that this is West Coast, it's better. Some people might say because Bell's is limited, this is better. I mean, it all boils down to each opinion is our own, but at the same time, 2 of the greatest beers out there on the market today, and I think they all both deserve their own hand of applause. But again, it all boils down to what your taste buds, your palate is going to, be, suited for. Other than that, it leads down to your pocket and preference. I mean, with that said, man, get out there, try these beers, man. Both are truly great beers. With that said, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Peace, pros, deuce, and see you on the flip side. Remember, rate, comment, and subscribe. And as always, do not drink and drive. Do not text and drive. We here at Beer Geeks Beer Reviews do not condone that. Each of them at their own. Man, if you need some help, man, give somebody a call. Family, friends, neighbor, who knows? They'll help you out if you need assistance. With that, I'm out of here. Peace.